What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of the Narcissist Code. I'm your favorite self-aware narcissist, Mr. Lee Hammock, better known as Mental Healness from TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. You know where to find me at. If this is your first time seeing my face or hearing my voice, I'm a diagnosed narcissist, and I use my platform on social media, over 1 million people, to raise awareness for NPD, get more people into therapy, and then also, in the process of doing all of that, validate the victims and survivors of said disorder. Today's episode is going to be about blaming more effectively. So let me go and preface this, y'all. This is not a victim blaming episode. This is not a victim shaming episode. This is going to be more about victim empowerment, taking your power back from that narcissistic person. And if you happen to be a narcissist listening to this, taking your power back from this disorder and going through therapy and making positive behavior alterations to live a better existence and to treat people, have other people around you live a better existence as well. That being said, your wife, your kids, your close family, who's probably getting treated the worst by you. So I told you I've been on this therapy journey for narcissistic personality disorder since October of 2017. But before that, I've also been on a self-development, personal development journey where I've, fallen in love with speakers like, Eric Thomas, Les Brown, Tony Robbins, Dr. Joe Dispenza, Tom Bilyeu, so many others, y'all. Zig Ziglar, Jim Rome, all the good ones, and some lesser known people as well. Well, I can't think of off the top of my head, like Gary Vaynerchuk. He's not lesser known, he's up there. But all these people have had a positive influence in my life. But Tony Robbins said one of the, if you go to Netflix and watch his documentary, it's called "I Am Not Your Guru." That is one of the most groundbreaking, most powerful things I've ever seen in my life. And if he has that again in person, the whole Date with Destiny thing, I think it's like $5,000. I'm gonna save up my little funds and go, because if the movie changed my life, I can't imagine what the in-person experience is like. But he had a woman on his show, right? She had a terrible experience with her father. Her father was a drug addict. He treated her terribly. He treated her mom terribly. He was just as absent as possible as he could possibly be. And Tony Robbins pretty much said, you sound like you're blaming him. And she's like, and she pretty much said, yes, I am. And he's like, okay, cool. And he said that blaming him doesn't do anything for your life. Blaming him gives him the power. Blaming him gives him the control over your life. Blaming him makes him, the epicenter of your existence, because you are blaming him for who you are and why you do what you do. He said, I'm not telling you to stop blaming. I'm telling you to start blaming more effectively. Blaming at the level of your soul, not at the level of your mind. He said, blame, because blaming that person for being who they are will not help you heal. Because sometimes it makes you empathize with that person. Sometimes blaming the other person makes you empathize with them because of what they've been through. Make you empathize with them and sympathize with them and stay in relationships with that person. Keep that person in your life, even though it could be to your detriment. It makes you start to try to feel bad for that person sometimes. But if you start blaming at the level of your soul, you start kind of blaming inwardly, it helps you heal and it helps you take your power back. So when I heard that statement, he said, I'm not telling you to stop blaming. He said, if you're going to blame your father, he said, and that woman, she was actually living a pretty good life. She was a young girl. She was living a pretty good life. You know what I mean? She had a good head on her shoulders and things like that. And he's like, if you're going to blame your father for all the BS that he put you through, you got to blame him for the good person you are. He said, he said, if you're going to blame him for all the bad stuff, you have to blame him for all the good stuff. You have to, because if he had been the father you needed, you wouldn't be the person you are right now. He played the role in your life that he was meant to play. Yeah, and I said that, and I got chill bumps. Because that right there resonated with me so much. Because I've had abandonment issues with my father in my life, and being in and out of my life, not being, super present, not being a father. He's more like a friend. You know what I mean? He's not super absent, y'all. He's just not present. He's just not, he's just like the cool uncle you go to your grandma's house to see, because he lived with my grandma for the most of his life. But when I heard this statement, you have to blame him more effectively, blame him for the good stuff. That took me back. I was like, wow, because I'm super ambitious to a point, and I've always wanted to be better than him. That's always been one of my goals right there in life, to be better than him. I'm going to be a better father. I'm going to be a better person. I'm going to make more money. I'm going to look better. I'm going to take care of my personal fitness better. I'm just going to be a better human being than you. So I'm ambitious as hell, y'all. I'm super ambitious to a fault, you know what I mean? But it was because I was blaming him for all that bad stuff. If he had been a super duper dad that I needed, I wouldn't be who I am right now, y'all. And I love who I am and who I'm becoming right now because I've done so much personal development. Because I blame him more effectively. I blame him for me being ambitious, because he had been the super duper dad that I wanted and needed. I felt like I needed the super duper dad that I wanted. Because I'm not gonna say needed. I'm gonna say the super duper awesome dad that I wanted. Then I wouldn't be the person who I am right now. I wouldn't be the self-aware narcissist out here helping thousands of people. I wouldn't have a platform of over 1 million people on TikTok, 40K on Instagram. You know what I mean? 115,000 on YouTube. That wouldn't be. I wouldn't exist in that. I wouldn't exist in this realm right now because I wouldn't have that stuff to work on. I could be just super average. You know what I mean? Because the kids whose lives he has been in, like my little sister and my little brothers, they're not living terrible lives, but they're average. They're average. They're average. There's nothing wrong with being average, y'all. There's literally nothing wrong with being average. But like, to me, how my mind works, I'm a narcissist. I can't. Average would get on my nerves. It's not nothing wrong. I'm jealous of people who are happy with their existence, y'all. That's one of my things too. I'm jealous of people who can find happiness at the level of their souls. I'm jealous of people who, you know, who can just be happy in the moment. I'm jealous of people who are happy. Like, if you're average and they're happy with it though. They have that happiness of being average. They cool. They're like, I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change anything. Like, you know, you make your average height, your average looking, your average salary. Like, how are you happy? Because they are. They just are. I'm just like, it bothers me, y'all. I'm jealous of that. So I enjoy it. It's that's powerful. But I am who I am because I blame him more effectively to the point where I'm just going. It allows me to go better. And you know what? And blaming him, and it was like my therapist said the same thing. She's like, she watched the documentary. She's like, yeah. He's like, because you don't. She's like, you as a narcissist, Damon, you don't like people having power over you. Your father is the most powerful person in your life because you blame him. He's like, because when you blame him for being him, something you can't control. You can't control him. You blame him for being him. You give him all the power over your life. You're angry. It's like all the stuff you're doing in your life is based on anger. And anger does not equal progress. If unfocused, uncharged anger does not equal progress. When I started blaming him for the person I was now and took my power back from him, and I started blaming him for the good I see in me. Yeah, I'm a narcissist, but I'm not a bad person. You cannot equate being a narcissist to being a bad person with me. You can't do that. And people say I'm adding to the stigma. I'm not. I'm absolutely 100% not adding to the stigma because my existence is stigma breaking. My existence, sitting here talking to you, being clinically diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder, I'm stigma breaking. So you can't hit me with all narcissists are bad people. How many people have you helped? If you ever come in my comment section and say you're a bad person, I'm gonna dislike you because you're a narcissist. How many people have you helped? I have thousands of people in my comment section every single day thanking me for changing their lives and helping them live life. I do one-on-ones with people that thank me, they graciously thank me for talking to them and bringing their perspective to their lives that they wouldn't have had any other way. How many people have you helped? Don't come for me if you haven't helped. Unless you somebody like Dr. Romney or Sam Vaknin on that level of people, or on that level of bringing clarity, I think I said the other day, Rebecca Zung. So many other people out here. Like, what does it matter? Sammy, what does it matter? If you are not on that level of helping people, you can't come at me and say anything negative about me. You just don't have the ability to do that. I won't allow you to do that. You know what I mean? So I'm blaming more effectively. I'm blaming to the power that I'm doing the blame that gives me the most power. I'm blaming myself. I'm blaming me because I let him have control over my emotional state to the point where I think about him, I get mad. Or I think about him, I get angry. Well, I used to think about him, I get angry. Now I'm just cool. I'm not thinking about him. I think about him right now. I'm just like yeah. I can see him on Facebook and stuff like that. I'm like, dang, that's my dad right there. You know what I mean? I'm glad I'm not like him, but thank you for playing the role you were meant to play. And that's how, like I said, if you were dealing with a narcissistic person in your life, they played. And this is not me blaming y'all. This is not me blaming you for staying. This is not me blaming you for leaving or tolerating it. But this is what Tony Robbins said. He's like, they played the role they are meant to play. You cannot change that person. You can't change the person. The only thing that you can change is you. So blaming them does not give you any kind of power in the situation. Because if you blame them, sometimes you'll stay in that relationship because you're blaming them. And because if I blame them, maybe they can change. They won't change. Narcissistic people don't change like that, y'all. I keep telling people every day that you see my videos and somehow you get to the point where you think that narcissistic person in your life can have the propensity or have the ability to get where I am. Most don't, y'all. there has to be a certain level of intellect to get where I am. Now, I'm not saying I'm the smartest person in the world, but I'm not an idiot. I'm not an imbecile. Some of y'all have married, dated, had kids by, or kids with imbeciles. People of like low intelligence. Those people don't have the propensity to change because they won't accept that they are the issue. So blaming them for having a low IQ and low intelligence, what is that going to do for you? That just makes you look silly. It's like, I'm blaming my baby daddy, he's so stupid. How does that empower you? How does that make you look good if you calling your baby daddy or the father or the mother of your kids stupid? How does that make you look? That doesn't make you look, that doesn't paint you in a good light, calling them stupid. So if you blame more effectively, it's like, I'm going to raise my kids so he or she is not like them. They're going to be the best of their power. Now, I'm not going to do it in spite of them. I'm going to do that regardless. You mean? Don't blame them. You have to blame. If you're going to blame them, blame more effectively. Blame to the point where it gives you power. They played the role that they're meant to play. You wouldn't have that beautiful baby girl or beautiful baby boy. Yeah, sometimes it's a struggle. Sometimes it's a fight. Sometimes it's, you get a lot of pushback. You know what I mean? A lot of times you get that stuff going on, but then like you get that pushback and things like that, and then it all happens the way it's supposed to happen. So you have to take back your power and take back your strength and blame more effectively. I hope this video brings y'all some clarity. It is, like I said, I hope y'all didn't take it the wrong way, because I'm here to empower people. I'm not here to blame people and keep you in toxic situations. I'm here to empower you, to take you to the next level, help you live to the best of your abilities, like have the best experience possible living your life. I hope this video brings you some clarity. I hope it helps. Mental Healness is out. Peace.